Let us see if it's good enough. I think the connection's too bad. Damn it. Well, connection might not be good enough for you to answer questions, which is not very good. We'll see how it goes. If anyone gets this, feel free to chuck me some questions. Spontaneous Q&A, all about sound, if you're new to this channel. Potentially should be working. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm chilling in the sun. Finished doing feature film for the day. Hey, how's it going? KJB Neck. Yeah, feel free to get your questions in. Spontaneous Q&A as these things go. Been pretty much just focusing on doing all the website, trying to get the blog going, re-upload all the sound chats as a podcast. Well, hello from Korea. How do I say hello in Korean? Don't quite know how to say that. But good to see that you're ahead. You're probably aren't you ahead? Isn't it like nighttime? South Korea, yeah, it's like plus 12 hours. So maybe it's like morning for you. I don't know. Anyway, oh well, thank you very much. It's good to have fans all over the world. People supporting you. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time. I need to still redo the app. Lots of bugs, unfortunately, with the iOS app, which I'm hoping to get sorted soon. So you don't need to sign up. Just chilling here in the sun. Just good times. So yeah, we will see. No questions. What's up, Portugal? How's it going? I like how you guys just tune in to hang out. That's fun, no? But it's probably more useful if people ask questions. Although, to be fair, we can just chill and chat, and then I'll just delete this video afterwards. Just a private little drink with us three. So it's been going quite well. It's getting ridiculously, I guess, quote unquote, hot in the UK. Again, hot is a relative term, of course, but nearly 30 degrees Celsius. Which is hot, because it's not really humid, it's just like dry, burning heat. Just dying already. Oh yeah. So, have you guys got anything for me? Any tips you want to share? Any things you'd like to see? Trying to get a lot done, but it's tricky. Thank you. It's gonna go well. Yeah, all this terror stuff. It's all, quite a lot of it's psychological. They just want you to break down. The actual proportion of terrorists is very, very low in the whole of the human race at the moment. So, but for those not joining in for a political chat, get answering your questions in the comments below. And I think I'll delete this video afterwards so it can just be for us. Maybe make a video afterwards. Birds chirping. Such a blue sky as well. Amazing. Any questions, guys? Come on. I came here spontaneous Q&A just to see what value I could give to you guys. I'm going to start doing a podcast too as well, which I think will be a little more accessible than these YouTube videos, because it can be quite hard to obviously just watch through a video. So getting that sorted first with all the sound chats. So trying to re-upload all of those so you can get them on a podcast, and then I can start with all my other content, and then stuff can start to merge in between. May even try and re-edit some of the sound chats at one point, but quite a lot of them, the minimum seems to be like an hour long, so it's obviously going to take a long time to try and cut those down, or even try to intermingle them with like the same question answered lots of times. But we'll see what we can do. Obviously got to kind of I guess quote unquote work in between, because I'm always pretty much working, never doing anything else. But yeah, I don't know. Get in those comments. Ask me a question. I don't know. Give me some context of where you're at right now. See if I can help or at least share exactly what I'm doing, and then might help some other people in terms of whatever they want to do. Sound devices and mixed pre, very popular question. To be fair, I think I really like them for sound designers. I wouldn't use them for production sound. Personally, I just want a lot of maybe a lot more outputs, that kind of thing. But I think just in terms of the setup, in terms of if you're again a sound designer and you want to get in with again like a effectively like a high quality Sound Devices 302 but with a record function, then that would be the one, because obviously you're getting all the advantages of those kind of 6 inputs, or 3 inputs, is it? 3 inputs. Yeah, mix B3, mix B6. But you're getting all the recording functionality and everything else. What lav would you advise when recording in a very noisy environment? A lav mic? I think the pretty much big contenders at the moment are quite a few people like the Sennheiser MKE2, I think it is. And quite a lot of people, I have Sankens and DPAs, so any of those, the 4060s and the Sanken COS 11 is very popular. Quite kind of punchy, the Sanken COS 11. But noisy environments you can also get away with if you have a really good boom, obviously, and depending on how you can position the talent, it'll kind of give you different stuff as well. So yeah, should be pretty good. Boiling. What about voice technologies? Not tried those guys actually. I need to have a look at those. VT401. I'll have a look at those after this chat, and check out those. Voice technologies. It's a company I've heard before, but again, they're not very prominent on the scene yet. Maybe they're probably more affordable. Definitely, I think, to be honest, lav microphones. You want to, even depending on the type of wireless. Well, irregardless of the type of wireless you have, having a very high quality mic is gonna give you a lot better noise. And again, the word affordable strikes me as slightly lower quality. So in contrast to spending a couple of £1,000 on just the transmitter, probably best to spend a couple of hundred instead on just the actual capsules themselves. Any tips on mixing post-work when 3 lavs are synced by the editor with pluralize? Always have phase issues and turn my mixing process into hell. If you have, basically, I just would advise to not have all 3 running at the same time. Oh, hey from Pakistan, how's it going? It's good to see people from around the world. Yeah, sync with pluralize. I guess you're only getting phasing issues if lots of things are playing all at the same time. So in your mixing process, I would actually switch and cut in between each track to who's ever talking, and try and blend them all together, or at least fade down the other 2 while the other one's coming up, and basically doing what your location sound mixer should have done on set, which is give you a kind of mix track, which is all of them together, but hopefully the one that's talking is open at the same time. This is turning into quite a productive chat. Any other questions from Korea, Portugal, Pakistan, or anywhere else, wherever you are? And we've got more people joining, so get your questions in, spontaneous Q&A. I'm going to delete this one afterwards, but put it on the soundrolling.com site. Just kind of hash it up and get a lot. Lad. And my mate Lewis. Cheersing it up after another kind of big day. It's pretty cool. Any other questions, guys? Don't want to keep this too long, but I'll review the video and then put all my answers in the form of blog posts, just to keep it nice and quick. And then we can do, I'll start doing the podcast soon, hopefully, as well. Just uploading loads of stuff now. Sennheiser Embryo, your thoughts? My thoughts are, again, very affordable, very easy for lots of people to get into the market. Definitely does the A format, B format. A lot of people say that it's affordable because there's slightly less quality of capsule, but again, I haven't had personal interactions with it compared to anything else. So I think it depends on the type of scenario that you're going to use it in. But yeah, I think it's good. I think the more mics and technology that come out of this format, it's only going to make it cheaper, more affordable, but in a good way, and yeah, better overall. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think someone has to kind of take the market overall. So, how do shorts affect your booming performance? How do you mean in terms of shorts? I suppose I get a better stance if you mean like actual shorts. But if you mean short films, then it affects it in a multitude of ways. In terms of obviously just trying to cover everyone with one person. Okay, so we'll go on for a few more minutes, and then if you've got any other questions, get them down below. Who doesn't want to see my shorts? Yeah, please do grab a beer and join. We need to, yeah, it'd be interesting. We'll try and set up some sort of podcast and get everyone all on one platform and being able to join in, hopefully. Do some kind of live recordings. See what happens. Because the YouTube stuff so sporadic at the moment, still trying to do lots of stuff with different manufacturers. So, how do you handle 2 or 3 camera situation? Well, ideally, I mean, depending on what it is, the idea with the more than one camera thing is that they do very similar shots. So there's a feature that I'm doing later in the year, and I've got 2 boom operators on it, and that's purely for the fact that they've got 2 cameras. And so rather than miking everyone up unnecessarily, potentially, it's a lot more effective to have a boom giving perspective over each camera. And so when those people are giving those lines, and it's the kind of the TV style, getting the better performance, all those kind of benefits for all the other departments, it's obviously very important that the sound has the right perspective for each camera, because it's just going to be lacking if one person has a like a £2,000 mic over them and one person has a 200. You're going to be able to tell the difference, and that's generally because one will be a radio mic and one will be a boom, so you'll not have that kind of fullness. So yeah, generally 2 or 3 cameras, just trying to make sure that it's the same kind of the same kind of perspective, I guess. So that's how I do it, Jesus. And we'll see. So we've got 2 minutes left. I'm going to keep this. Any tips on creating a sound report? Well, thankfully, the Sound Devices creates a sound report within it, so that's very useful. Otherwise, there is an app called Sound Report that you can download. Otherwise, just get a spreadsheet. Otherwise, just give yourself effectively shorthand. That's going to really help you. So if something's a wild track, use WT. If something's room tone, maybe use RT. And trying to find a way of like writing down useful shorthand for yourself is gonna really save you. Thankfully, quite a lot of the stuff I do on location, I also do post for, and so I'm kind of already in the flow of not really doing myself a proper sound report because I already kind of remember what happened on the day, which is kind of bad of me. I'm getting into bad shape by not necessarily being lazy, but just focusing on other things on the day rather than the sound report overall, because you can generate half of it in the sound devices itself. So in terms of notes, I'm not really leaving anything, and I'm trying to label my track names and stuff so they come up. Otherwise, you can use Wave Agent. If you have a computer on set, you could literally just go through after the day and import those files and enter the metadata and then generate a PDF sound report as well. And I think I have a video on that somewhere on this channel as well, in terms of using Wave Agent either after the fact. Yeah, it would have to be after the fact because you have to obviously import the audio to then get that through. What do you think about the Ursa soft circles? Still having rustling noise and clothes with on clothes with those. Yeah, I think the circles themselves, it's all about placement. That's the thing. The circles are brilliant in terms of the disc shape, because obviously depending on what type of mic you're using, just like the Rycott Essentials, they brought out the square one, the circle one. They're actually bringing out stickies that essentially fit the mounts that people are using. So it's one thing to obviously get the right type of sticky, like the soft circle, on the right kind of mount, and then the next point of that is just the placement. And so maybe you're getting clothing rustle, not necessarily from the actual kind of stickies themselves, but maybe it's cabling noise that's getting you. Um, Often, if you've got a loose cable like running down the chest, hairy chest, then it's definitely going to pick up. So maybe you need to work on that as your area. And again, I don't know if you were there for a kind of webinar, I guess it was, that I did a couple of weeks ago, where I went through for an hour just telling people kind of where to hide the pack, where to hide the cable, and where to hide the mic. So you can check that out as well. So I'm very conscious that this went on for like 40 minutes last time. A lot of people complained that I didn't write down the questions, so I'm going to keep this shorter. And oh, okay, Pedro. Well, I probably need more context because just the actual mounts themselves, it all depends where it is. I mean, if you can give me some clues as to the um, type of clothing they were wearing, for instance, then maybe we can make something work. But it's obviously very hard for me to gauge based on whatever hypothetical scenario the noise that you're getting. But generally, if you have say the soft circle is in like the cloth side against the skin, or against something that can rub like this, then it's going to cause noise regardless. You don't want the mic to generally move. And so maybe it's just a different type of placement where you try and use two soft circles either side and have the mic sticking out the top so it stays in place, and then you cable down the rest of the cable to keep it stuck in. Or maybe it's a shirt, and so you're doing in between the buttons. If it's a t-shirt, it's a bit harder. So there's kind of lots of ways, and it's whether you run the cable down the front, run the cable down the back. And that's all I can roughly give as kind of very vague general advice to what's worked with me. But let's end this, and looking forward to both getting the questions with timestamps in this video so people can find out what the hell is going on, and uploading more stuff like the podcasts and everything else. Yeah, it's probably the clothes, yeah. For instance, polyester or wool, for instance, is horrible compared to like cotton. Cotton's a lot thicker, a lot more forgiving. Wool and kind of scratchy nylon, not so good. Rain jackets, hate rain jackets for lavs. Horrible things. Even just for booms, they sound horrendous. So, anyway, lovely people. I shall see you all later. I will try and do more of these spontaneous chats. I find that this is kind of probably the most value I can give you in one go. So stay tuned. And hey from Mexico as well. Thank you, Pakistan, Portugal, Mexico, and Korea. Let's not forget Korea. And I'll see you all soon. Maybe I'll try and do this daily. I'm still on this feature film every day. So we'll see when we end. Expect more of these random things throwing up soon. And if you, give me some feedback, as well as Malaysia. If you go to soundrolling.com and just check out the new site in terms of the blog, in terms of the search, and just give me some feedback either in these comments or follow me on Instagram, and just hit me up with a message at Soundrolling, and then we can try and make a resource that everyone can use. So until next time, see you later.